What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today I'm going to be breaking down the basics of Halloween Horror Nights, a HHN for dummies, if you will. Are you going to Halloween Horror Nights for the first time? Are you overwhelmed with the acronyms, code names, and information? Don't worry, I got you, because today we're going to break down the basics of Halloween Horror Nights and everything you need to know if this is your first time going to the event. If you've watched any of our videos before, you know I am a big Halloween Horror Nights fan, and I make a lot of videos about the event, and again, it's very detailed, so oftentimes if people have never been before, they're like, I don't know what she's saying. She's speaking another language, and I am lost.
I can't understand your accent.
And I had some friends comment on videos like, hey, you should do like a video kind of breaking it down because I've never been. It sounds cool and I like your videos, but I don't know what you're talking about. So that's what leads us here today. Now, before we get into the details, if you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like horror movies, Halloween Horror Nights, and pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. First and foremost, what is Halloween Horror Nights? Halloween Horror Nights is an annual Halloween event held at Universal Studios. It all began in Orlando with the title Fright Nights back in 1991 with 3 nights and only 1 haunted house. It didn't receive the title Halloween Horror Nights until the following year in 1992. Since then, the event has grown into one of the most popular Halloween destinations in the world. This little tiny event went from 3 nights and 1 haunted house to now the Orlando event having 47 nights, 10 haunted houses, and 5 scare zones. The event has also expanded to their Hollywood, Japan, and Singapore locations. Before we move on, I also want to add that this video is mainly going to focus on the Orlando event, as it is the one that I frequent and has the most lore. Now, first and foremost, the acronym HHN. You've probably heard it a lot, and if you're not a Horror Nights fan, you're like, what is she talking about? But HHN simply is Halloween Horror Nights, because it's kind of a mouthful, so sometimes it's just easier to say HHN. Is HHN similar to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? No. No, it is not. Disney is a wholesome place filled with dreams of princesses and toys that come to life. I've personally never been to the Halloween event at Disney, but basically from what I understand, it's trick-or-treating with Disney characters and some spooky fireworks. Halloween Horror Nights is a nightmare-fueled event that will haunt your dreams. No, seriously, if you bring a child that's not into horror, they will never sleep again. Just because the event also features a toy that comes to life does not mean that it is child-friendly. The website features this warning. Event may be too intense for young children and is not recommended for children under the age of 13. Now, this is not saying that you can't bring a kid that's under 13. Some kids are thugs and can handle the scares. So just know your child and what they're okay with. But if they're kind of scaredy cats and they don't watch a lot of horror movies, don't bring them to this event and force them to go through everything and give them PTSD for years to come. Because if they scream and they run into me and they cause a ruckus, they're going to kill my buzz. Not cool, bro. What is a scare zone? A scare zone is simply an outdoor area featuring costume characters that fit within that zone's theme. So think a haunted house, but there's no giant line to walk through and the actors are free to roam anywhere they like. There are 5 scare zones and there is basically no avoiding them, as you basically have to walk through these areas to get to other zones, scare zones, haunted houses, restaurants, anything you want to access in the park. What are haunted houses? The haunted houses are, of course, the main attraction of this event. Orlando's event features 10 haunted houses scattered all around the park. You've got all types of different haunted houses, little small ones that are just kind of more for kids, the more elaborate ones, and this is on the elaborate side. I mean, they are making sure that you really believe that you are stepping into whatever this is themed after. If you're stepping into the world of Michael Myers, you are stepping into that movie, and you are seeing Laurie Strode. You feel like you're in the film. What are IPs and Originals? Scare zones and haunted houses can fall into two different categories, IPs and Originals. IP stands for intellectual property and is basically any character that you recognize from movies or TV. Some of the intellectual properties that have been at the event are Halloween and Michael Myers, Stranger Things, Trick or Treat, and even Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. And Originals are just that. They're original concepts and characters brought to life from the creative minds at Halloween Horror Nights. What are the icons? The icons are original characters that serve as the host for the event. The very first original icon was Jack the Clown in 2000. And due to his popularity, they created other icons throughout the years. The Caretaker, the Director, Storyteller, Chance, the Pumpkin Lord, and Dr. Oddfellow. Each of these characters has lore and in-depth backstories that are often woven together throughout the years. There are some other original characters, but due to different circumstances were scrapped and never got their full shine at the event, such as Eddie Schmidt or Cindy Kane. Even though they are known for their original icons, there have been some IPs or well-known characters that have served as this title for the event, such as the Crypt Keeper and Imhotep. What are the shows at Halloween Horror Nights? HHN has had many different shows over the years. Some things based off of their own original characters, and things like the long-running Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. This year for HHN 32, there's only going to be one show, and that is Nightmare Fuel, returning for its third year with the title Revenge Dream. This show is a perfect example of why it's suggested that you don't bring kids under 13. Sure, it has fire and aerial performances that'll wow and amaze, but it's also kind of sexual. Now again, this all depends on the kid. Every kid is different. Some have been exposed to these things, and some just handle these things a little bit better than others. But if you bring a young, sheltered little boy to this show, he is going to skyrocket into puberty, and he's gonna walk out a man. What's with the fog? You may have heard people talk longingly of the fog at HHN. And you're probably like, what? Why are people freaking out about fog? It's simple, really. And I don't even think it's a specific thing to HHN. I think if you're a big fan of Halloween and haunted houses in general, the smell of fog it's nostalgic and it takes you back to good times and fun memories. This smell is so nostalgic that they made a candle that smells like the fog. And I want it. I really want it. So if this is your first time and you think we're all crazy, I want you to just sit back and smell that beautiful fog. Before you know it, you'll be one of these crazy people telling your friends, I'll see you in the fog. Who is Little Boo and why is everyone so obsessed with him? It all started when he appeared at the entrance of the Wicked Growth Realm of the Pumpkin House in 2021. He became a viral sensation when someone posted on Twitter a picture of him and said, I found my favorite pumpkin, I have claimed him, and he is mine. To which Halloween Horror Nights' official Twitter account responded and said, that's Little Boo. And then it took the internet by storm. He returned in 2022 as a part of this large truss at the entrance of the park that featured all kinds of pumpkins on it for the Horrors of Halloween scare zone. He may be a small little guy, but his popularity grows larger and larger every year. And if you've been shopping for HHN merch, you've definitely seen him pop up on a few items this year. Is Halloween Horror Nights included with a regular park ticket? No, Halloween Horror Nights is a separately ticketed event. You didn't honestly think a theme park was gonna give you anything for free, did you? And on top of that, to really enjoy this event, you're gonna need to purchase other separately ticketed items. It sucks, it really does, but it's 2023 and let's face it, you can't leave the house without spending $300 these days. So if you're trying to save money, don't go to this event. There are a lot of different tickets and experiences that you can purchase, but here are the two that I recommend. First and foremost, the Scream Early Ticket. This is simply an early access ticket, but it's one of the cheapest tickets you can get, and it's definitely worth it. The event runs from 6:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. So with this ticket, you're allowed to get into the park at 3 p.m., and then at 5 p.m. you have to stay in a little designated stay and scream area. And what this does is it allows you to get into the park earlier than people that just have a regular ticket. So this can give you at least a little 30-minute head start. And I know 30 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but this really helps to knock out like 1 or 2 haunted houses before the real intense crowds get in there. And some people get very strategic with this. They're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do the stay and scream that's by this specific house that maybe is a big property and is gonna have the biggest wait time. Me personally, I just go to the same one every time. I personally like to go to Finnegan's because it's a vibe. It's AC, it's food, it's drinks. Maybe it's not strategic, but I like to have a good time versus rush my way through things. That's just how I am. The other ticket that I recommend is the Express Pass, and this basically allows you to skip the regular line for each haunted house at least one time, as well as rides and attractions.
And this is?
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Now, I wouldn't necessarily say this is required. It all kind of depends on how your specific trip or vacation is set up. If you're someone that's only going for one night, or if you're going on a Saturday, this is a must to ensure that you see all 10 haunted houses. What is the Tribute Store? This is a theme store where you can buy anything and everything Halloween Horror Nights. I'm talking t-shirts, leggings, chocolates, candles, posters, and so much more. Although a lot of HHN merch can be bought throughout the park, in City Walk, in the resorts, this particular store is an experience. It's basically another attraction. It has a different theme every year, but each individual room is basically almost like a haunted house, but take out the scare actors and just add in overpriced merch that you know you're gonna have to leave the park with. And it's like a maze. You know, you walk in and you think, oh, okay, I found this cool t-shirt. I'm just gonna go check out. Not that easy. You can't just go check out. You have to go through every single room. It's like IKEA, but make it spooky. Where's the Dead Coconut Club? The Red Coconut Club is a club located in City Walk that is renamed Dead Coconut Club and gets a spooky overlay for Halloween Horror Night season. As someone who loves alcohol and AC, this is a must for me personally. It's a great place to get out of the heat and the crowds and recharge for the screams. It has everything you could possibly want for good vibes. Monsters, drinks, and great music. And the best thing about it is it's not technically a Halloween Horror Nights exclusive thing. It's located in City Walk, so if you don't have tickets to the event, you can just go to City Walk and experience this for free. So that's the basics of Halloween Horror Nights. Again, all of this isn't necessary to know to enjoy the event, but you'll hear a lot of these terms and these words, and you're probably like, what's going on? So hopefully that helped you for the event this year. I also want to share a few tips and tricks for you that I know over the years that I've learned, sometimes the hard way, that may help you as well. Number 1, wear something comfortable. I can't stress this enough. You're gonna be walking all night in the heat of Florida. And look, if you're not from the southern states, I know what you're thinking. It's fall. I wanna wear hoodies and cute boots and stuff like that. Don't do it. I don't care if it's fall. Don't do this. You will have a heat stroke. And I'll tell you, I told you so. It is possible to dress cute and still be comfortable. My go-to is a cute horror tee with some shorts and a comfortable pair of tennis shoes. Number 2, prepare for the rain. Now, Florida always has rain, specifically for some reason. Opening night always has really, really bad rain. And I really didn't experience this until 2021, where I had a torrential downpour just come on down to the event, and it made it interesting. We still had fun, but the rain was so bad that some of the houses flooded, and they had to close them until they could get it under control. And as a result, I was soaked to the bone. All of my clothes were soaked, and even inside of my purse that was zipped up, things got soaked and messed up in there as well. So my advice to you is to bring a poncho or a rain jacket. They do sell ponchos and rain jackets in the park, but they're so expensive you will have to sell your soul to afford them. So just be prepared. Number 3, prepare for chafing. As I said before, you're going to be walking around in the heat of Florida, so you may have some chafing. There was one year that my thighs chafed so bad that I exited the park at the end of the night looking like a cowboy. It was not attractive. To prevent the cowboy stomp, I highly suggest you purchase some kind of thigh rescue deodorant. I personally use Megababe and it really helps. And number 4, if you're staying on property, book one of the hotels that offers boat rides to the park. Now I know this tip is a little on the bougie side as these hotels can be a little bit more on the expensive side, but it's totally worth it. At the end of a long night of just a bunch of walking, the last thing I want to do is more walking. I'm in my 30s. My knees click every time I think about moving, so it's all about less steps than are necessary for me. My favorite is the Lowe's Sapphire Falls Resort. It's not the most expensive, it's not the cheapest, it's somewhere in the middle, and I promise that boat ride will come in handy at the end of the night. So that's my tips and tricks for Halloween Horror Nights, and I hope that these help you for HHN 32. And if you have any different tips or tricks, leave them in the comments below. Can you guys believe that Halloween Horror Nights is almost here? It is so wild that we wait a whole year for this event, and then all of a sudden it just ramps up and it's like, I can't wait. I'm so excited. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you nerds in the fog!